Will this $1,500 pair of Focal clear professional headphones replace my Pioneer DJ headphones I DJ with, Bang & Olufsen H6 daily use headphones, or my Focal Spirit Pros for music mixing? And we're going to find out right after the jump. This video is brought to you by Apple's Audio. When it comes to headphones, headphone amps, and DACs, they've got you covered with a 30-day free return, a low price match guarantee, 2-year extended warranty, and every order over $200 gets expedited shipping. Check out everything Apple's Audio has to offer with the link below. I bought these Focals back in June and have been using them on and off since then. Let's talk about what we get in the box first. Included is a hard shell case, and inside this case we have the headphones, a set of cables, and an 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch adapter plug. In the accessories box, we have a second cable that terminates to a 1/4 inch plug, an extra set of pads, and an instruction booklet. The clear professionals are slightly different from the clears, which give an additional cable and have a different color scheme. The Focals have a 40mm aluminum magnesium driver with a copper voice coil, which are used in tandem to control dynamics and bass. The 55 ohm rating on these headphones means they are easy to drive even with a cell phone or laptop. I did use it with the headphone amp as well, and I never needed to turn it up past 50%. Another interesting thing to note is that these headphones are open back, so as I'm listening to music and typing on my keyboard at work, I can hear all the typing. More on that in a minute. Frequency response is rated from 5 Hz to 28,000 Hz, and while I can't measure that, they do hit very low and have some crystal clear highs and mids. As for build quality, these things live up to the Focal brand. They feel like they are worth $1,500. These things are pretty much all metal, the headband has a nice plush padding, and the pads and ear cups feel nice and soft on my head. Now my biggest gripe for these headphones are these pads, which I'll talk about later in the video. The yokes move nicely with a little spring back to give you that custom fit, and the headband adjustment feels super sturdy and clicks into each notch with authority. Real quick before we get into the video review, I do want to give a big shout out to all my patrons on Patreon. Thank you guys so much. You guys help out a lot. You have no idea. And if you're watching this and I've helped you in any way, shape, or form, and you want to help out the cause, definitely become a patron. The link is in the description. All right, so now you're probably asking me about sound quality. Well, I'll tell you right now, these definitely sound awesome. They sound better than my other 3 headphones. And I would assume so because you're paying $1,500. Now, one of the biggest tests that you guys know I always run speakers and headphones through is the drumming song, which is from Florence and the Machine, and the Kings of Leon tracks, pretty much any one from those albums. And it's because those 2 albums kind of were mixed very bright. Both tracks on my demo list from Florence and the Machine and Kings of Leon, they were clear, they were detailed, but they were not bright at all. I could actually jack up the volume on the headphones and it was great. Like, it was perfect. And I wish some of my speakers actually sounded this way. So if this is any indication how the magnesium aluminum driver from Focal actually performs, I would really want to get some Focal speakers in to review in my space. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about as far as my demo tracks are concerned, I'll put the 2 playlists down in the comments section. One is for Tidal, one is also for Spotify, and it's like a 3.5 hour playlist. And these are the songs I use to run headphones and speakers through their paces. So again, going back to the sound quality, these things sound awesome. And I really wish I could listen to them more. Now let's talk about the open back situation. I think this was really great because it did add like this dimensionality to all the music I was listening to. It just made the soundstage, it was just open. It was open, it was transparent, and everything just sounded better. However, there are some drawbacks to the open back, and I think that they are good things in certain situations, i.e. when I'm playing Call of Duty and I want to listen to music, put the headphones on and I can still hear what's happening in the game. I'm at work and I can, listen to music, and when the phone rings, I can pick it up. Of course, I have to take the headphones off to actually hear them, but I can still hear them ringing, or if an alarm's going off or something happens in your surroundings, your immediate surroundings, you will be able to hear it. So that's kind of cool. The only drawback is you'll be hearing stuff in your immediate surroundings. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. But if you are listening in a place where it's quiet, like here in my studio, it's pretty quiet. You know, we don't have much traffic going on or like sirens or any kind of nonsense up here in the mountains. So if I'm here in the studio and listening to music, you know, I close my eyes and I'm completely transported. Completely transported. And if you put on like a live show, like of course the Eagles, Hotel California from Hell Freezes Over, it's on my demo list. Putting that on and just closing my eyes, I really felt like I was there at the concert. So bottom line is, I like this open back design, and you may not. It really just depends on how you like to listen to your music. All right, now let's talk about what I didn't like. And that's pretty much just going to be the ear pads. That's really the main thing. Well, there's another thing too, but the ear pads, after about 3 hours, it started to get hot on my head. Now, if they've gone to like leather or some sort of other material instead of this, it says it's like a microfiber, like cloth, but it really kind of ruined the experience. Like my head started getting hot after about 3 hours of listening straight. So if you're the type of person that doesn't listen that long, cool, not a problem. Since they are removable, I was hoping that Focal would be able to sell me their ear pads from a different headphone. The only problem is the color scheme wouldn't match and all that kind of stuff. But if they did make these in a red that you could like replace with the leather one, that would be cool. Second thing that I really didn't like was that there is no microphone. So the little mic that you have in some of the cables for headphones. So I can't take calls with these headphones, which, you know, cool, don't really need to. But that was kind of the thing about my Bang & Olufsen H6 that I love so much, and I still use them all the time for that kind of situation. Which now brings us to the big question. Will this one pair of headphones replace the 3 that I use on a regular basis? And the answer is no, it can't. It can't, it can't. I would love for them to, but they just can't. So my Pioneer DJ headphones, those things were about $350 and they are built like a tank. That's really the thing, you know, I've dropped those things so many times, and I wouldn't feel right bringing this $1,500 pair of headphones with me to a gig where, man, like people have spilled drinks on my headphones, and you know, they get put through the ringer, you know, like durability wise, and they still sound great, my Pioneer DJ headphones. So I'm gonna roll with those. That's just, I'm not gonna take these nice Focals out to events. You know, sometimes I DJ on top of the mountain and it's just dust and dirt flying everywhere, you know, and then thinking about like the headphones are open back, I wouldn't want any of that going on in there. Now the Bang & Olufsen H6 are my daily driver headphones. I use these pretty much every day. I edit a lot on them, and I take like conference calls with those headphones on, and that's the set of headphones I really wanted these Focals to replace. Unfortunately, the one big thing that I don't like about the Focals is that there's no microphone. So I still have to use either the H6 or like some Apple earbuds or whatever to continually take calls and do all that conference stuff, so I can keep my hands free to take notes as I'm in the call. So they won't be replacing the H6. I'll still have to have the H6 around. Now, let's get to the Focal Spirit Pros. Now, these are about $350, and these are specific for mixing tracks. Not mixing like DJing, but actually mixing like production mixing, like producing music and mixing them on the headphones. Those things have been really, really nice, and they've been like my workhorse anytime I needed to check a mix while I'm at a different job, or if it's late night and I don't want to have these KRKs blasting and you know, kids asleep there, or wife's asleep upstairs, whatever. These Focal Pros, these new ones, the $1,500 ones, hands down will totally replace the Focal Spirit Pros. Of course, you know, at being like 5 times the price, they should, right? And the clarity is on another level with these new Focal Clear Pros. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Really wish though that they had the little mic thing so I can at least retire 2 different headphones, because I don't need any more headphones laying around. I think I see some other wireless ones, and like there's some earbuds over there. So I got a bunch of headphones. As you guys know, I'm a DJ and music producer, so having all of these kinds of things, you know, working for a certain purpose is kind of the way I like to roll. And I would just kind of wish I could roll them all into one set of headphones. Unfortunately, that's just not the case. Now, I know you're probably wondering, yo, Techno Dad, these things are $1,500, man, I can't afford that. Well, I couldn't either. Luckily, I buy my DJ and music production equipment from a website called Zounds. That's ZZOUNDS.com. And they do a 6, 8, 10, and 12-month payment plan. And one day I saw, like in May or April or May, I forget. Earlier this year, I saw that they had added Focal to their roster, and I went and I found these headphones, and it's on there for like $125 a month, and this way I can get my hands on them for less than actually shelling out the $1,500 all at once. So I'll put a link down in the description to Zounds so you guys can check it out. They have all kinds of other speakers and stuff like that as well. Well, that's pretty much it for this video. If you have any questions for me about these headphones or anything else, let me know down in the comments below, or hit me up on social or email, whichever you like to use. And if you like this video, go ahead, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel using the button in the middle of your screen. Once again, my name is Chana D, I'm your Techno Dad, and I'll see you next time.